Be here at the Diamond Factory. This is the Diamond Factory. I am Dr. Roz, and I am pitch hitting and sitting in for our phenomenal Phyllis Nash, our Chief Sales Officer. And I'm excited because there's so many things always happening at Wakana, and we're constantly moving forward. We had such a wonderful, wonderful November, all kind of records broken, people hit ranks. I mean, the call yesterday was just magnificent, hearing about all the different things that are happening in the lives of individuals that are putting their best foot forward. And let me say that because sometimes I know, we go through all these kinds of things, get a little discouraged because maybe you didn't hit what you planned on hitting, or you didn't hit your rank yet. Did you hear that word? Yet. See, you can't close the door on that. You got to put a comma there and not a period. Anytime you put a comma, do you remember that back in school in your English? I really did love English. Wanted to one time be an English major, but not realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. But there's a difference between a comma and a period. And there's even a difference between a comma and a semicolon. See, the semicolon is a longer pause than the comma. So sometimes you have to use a semicolon. But the bottom line is don't use the period, because it's not over yet. And why is it not over? Because you're still here. And if you're still here, there's still progress to be made. And whether you know it or not, guess what? When you're running in a race, whether you're first or last, if you're still running, you're closer than you were. And that's what we always have to remember. And I was thinking this morning when Phyllis asked me to do this morning, I thought about something that was taking place in my church some months ago during the beginning of the pandemic. During the beginning of the pandemic, we've been in a building process. We've built a new cathedral, beautiful, beautiful cathedral, but we were starting it during the pandemic. And so our pastor knew that when we started building this cathedral, there were going to be so many inconveniences, because the first thing that they built was a parking lot. And the parking lot was a long distance from the sanctuary at the time. So that meant people were going to have to walk further. They even went ahead and bought rental vehicles and Jeeps, little Jeeps, to pick up people, like golf carts, to pick up people, the elderly, so they didn't have to walk that far. But the bottom line, he knew that there were going to be a lot of different inconveniences. And I say that because whenever you're in a building process, and that's what we are in Wakana. See, I know most of us, and I've been blessed to be in a ministry that was built from the ground floor. And so I understand the mindset of building. But a lot of us don't understand that mentality. Most of us, we have had jobs with corporations and businesses that were built. And when we got there, everything was already in place. Everything was running. Your paycheck came on time. Everything took place as it was supposed to do. That's because it was already built. But we don't know that somebody went through the growing pains. And when you go through growing pains, I mean, those that have been pregnant kind of understand what I'm talking about. There's some growing pains. There's some pains that you deal with in the birthing process. But oftentimes we don't recognize that. But back to my story. So what our pastor did, he came up with these T-shirts. And everybody started getting these T-shirts. And the T-shirts said 4 things on it: patient, positive, prayerful, present. And so he did messages in a whole series. The first message was called Be Patient. The second message was called Be Positive. The third message of the series was called Be Prayerful. And the fourth one was called Be Present. So I thought about that this morning. I believe that that's something that we have to do here at Wakana. We've got to be patient. We've got to be positive. We've got to be prayerful, and we've got to be present. That's what causes your business to excel. Just continue to be patient, positive, prayerful, and present. Now, here, the first one, patient. That's a hard cookie right there sometimes for many of us. I mean, many of us, our testimony is, I just don't have no patience. I have a hard time with patience. Well, let me hurry up and jump to the second one, positive, because you're already negating you being patient because you're already saying that you can't be. You're already speaking into existence. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. We are what we speak out of our mouths. You will never be patient if you don't even start saying you're going to try to be patient. I mean, are you saying to me, and I know I'm on the second one instead of the first one, but I'm going to come back to the first one. But are you saying to me that you're incapable of change? I mean, is that what you're saying? Are you just saying you just don't have the capacity to change? Because whenever you make a negative statement about yourself, about anything, you are speaking negativity over your whole life that you just can't make a change. This is just the way you are. You're going to be this way. You ain't going to never make a change. So you don't want to ever be any better than you already are. So we all have the capacity to become more patient than we are. And I'm telling you, situations will help you. See, when you recognize there are circumstances in your life that are helping to develop your patience, because I don't tell people to pray for patience, because that means you're praying for tribulation, because that's what the Bible says. But situations will happen to cause us to have to develop our patience. Here's a good situation. Here's my own testimony. We were in Las Vegas visiting my husband's sister, and his mom and father had gone there for Thanksgiving. So we went to Las Vegas for Thanksgiving. Now, on our trip back, and I had told people that told Minister Mooney, I can't do the Saturday because we're going to be on our flight and we're going to land about 10:50. That's what I thought. We left early in the morning, like 3 a.m. Our flight was like at 8, thinking we're leaving in plenty of time. We had a rental car. We took it to the rental place. Well, the shuttle from the rental facility took us to the wrong place. The wrong. I can't think of the name now. Whichever airline that we need to get to, not the gate, but just the wrong airline part. And so then we had to wait 15 to 20 minutes to wait for a shuttle to take us to the right one. Terminal, that's the word I was trying to think of, took us to the wrong terminal. So now we had to wait 15, 20 minutes for the internal shuttle to take us to the right terminal. We get to the right terminal, and there's this long line. Oh, we're thinking, oh, we're cool. We've got TSA pre-check, right? We go to the line for TSA pre-check, and it's closed. And we don't know that it's closed until we stand up there a few minutes and we're thinking we're in the line and it's not the TSA pre-check. They say this is the line for the employees. So we have to get out of that line. And that long line that we saw before is longer now. So now we get in this long line to go through TSA. And you guys know how that goes. And they said this was one of the busiest traveling weekends, that we ever have. And we're patiently waiting. We're singing, I'm dancing, we're doing everything we can not to think about missing our flight. We get all the way through there after waiting and waiting. We get up to the line where you put your luggage, because now we're not in TSA pre-check, so we got to take off our shoes. We got to unpack all this stuff. You take out our electronics. And the conveyor belt stops. Lord have mercy. The conveyor belt stops. So they work on that. They fix the conveyor belt. Our stuff is going through. We get on through. Now we're walking like we're doing the O.J. Simpson in the airport, right? We're moving. Thank God for rebounder. Lord have mercy. I don't know if I would have made it. I had some breath because of rebounding every day. We get all the way through there. We get all the way to the gate. Guess where our gate was? At the end. We get to the gate and the door is closed. Oh my God, we just missed our flight. Oh, there were some others that missed their flight and they were called. They were always saying everything but Jesus. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They was ready to cuss up a storm, ready to talk bad to the people. It wasn't their fault. So I looked at my husband. He looked at me. We said, I guess we wasn't supposed to be on that plane. See, that was the attitude. We had a choice at that moment to be really pissed off, really go crazy and trip out like everybody else was tripping out, or decide we're going to just be positive. There must be a reason we're not on that plane. Well, they booked us another flight. Unfortunately, it was a longer flight. Unfortunately, that flight had to fly to Los Angeles. We had a layover in Los Angeles and then flew back to Houston. It was not convenient, but we had to make a decision whether we were going to be patient and be positive. It wasn't a real hard decision because what else could we do? I mean, was it going to change anything? And see, we have to ask ourselves sometimes when we're being so impatient with people, when we're being so negative about a situation, is it changing things? And then thirdly, we got to be prayerful. See, prayer is not just something that you do audibly. It's a state of mind. It's being in contact with whatever your higher power is, whatever your spiritual force is, whatever your connection to the universe is. And we have to be in that state of a prayerful mind so that we can be in tune. Because see, when you're anxious and all, you can't even hear what you need to do, where you need to go, who you need to talk to. We're in Wakanda and we're always looking for that person who we need to bring into the business or that person we need to help as a customer. But sometimes we miss opportunities because we're so busy in our minds. We had a man just here last night that came by our house to give us a quote to get this one of these leaf things to keep all the leaves out your gutter. We didn't get it. We weren't going to spend that money. But before he left, I was handing him a postcard, and he had already told my husband how much pain he was in. And before he left that, I was swiping his card for him to purchase a bottle of our topical cream. But that's staying in the state of mind always to do the things that you hear that you need to do. And the last thing is to be present. You're here this morning. You are present. And all we have to do is make sure that we're present to everything that we can be a part of. Be present right now. Know that things are getting ready to happen for you in the future. We've got the Christmas things that are getting ready to take place. We've still got wonderful packages that are available on our website. Oh, I'm loving that relief package and all the other packages that Dr. Rita has put together. Listen, stay present, guys. It's going to happen. And here's my saying in my closing. If it doesn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, it'll happen next week. If it doesn't happen next week, it'll happen next month. If it doesn't happen next month, it'll happen next year. But one thing for sure, it's going to happen. Today is Tuesday, our doctor's edition. Don't miss it. Let me tell you something. This medical advisory board always drops the mic. And then right after that, a full overview. And don't forget, get up early in the morning and meet Lady E Fit. Oh, you'll become fit if you get with Lady E Fit. Okay, Lady E Fit, you can use that, right? And then don't hesitate to join us with the Rebound with Wakanda any day of the week, Monday through Saturday. Listen, guys, have a great Wakanda kind of day. Bye-bye for now.